Okay, hello everybody. I am starting our live video. We are going to be talking about the topic of immunity today. And yes, I'm going to cover the new supplement, which is so awesome. It just goes right in with our whole health and hope and wellness theme. So I'm glad you guys are here on week 7. My name is Dr. Stefanie. I am an OBGYN specializing in women's health care and also in integrative medical modalities. So here I am and here we go. But I first also want to be able to say hi to Tina and thank her for her video last week. If you guys can see me, if someone can send a hi, that would be good. I think this is going though. Okay, Tina, who knew that you could freeze all of those healthy things? Like, we have no excuse to not be eating healthy any longer. So I'm very happy for that. Okay. So also, this is more immunity based, but also we want to remind you that, the things that are supporting a healthy weight for us are also the things that are going to be boosting our immune system. So they do work hand in hand. Okay, so before we get into the supplement, I do want to go over just our immune system and some basic things about it and how it works. So we have kind of 3 main arms to our immune system, and those are our one innate immunity that we're born with, our acquired immunity, which is the immunity we develop over time after being exposed to different antigens, and we make those antibodies and those memory cells that can attack the next time. And then the third arm is actually our microbiome, and this is exciting that this is a new, kind of opening up to the microbiome as being the third arm in the eyes of research and science. And the microbiome kind of acts like the coach for our immune system overall. So it really just helps make sure that everything is balanced and working well. So regardless of the issue with your immune system, whether it's autoimmune or infectious disease or whatnot, supporting that microbiome is huge, because that is what we're all going for, is balance in our immune system, right? Yes. Okay. So there are 3 main things that affect the optimal functioning of our immune system that I'm going to talk about, that if not in order, can really derail our immune systems. And so the first thing is probably no big surprise to you, but first thing is leaky gut. And leaky gut syndrome, as we've been over many times in the world of Plexus, is a condition where the cells that line our intestines, that line our gut, are leaky. They have membrane disruption and spaces between the cells. So particles that can be harmful to our bodies are able to kind of sneak right through between the gaps in the cells, or maybe particles that actually are toxins, or that, extra viral load or bacterial load that should never see the inside of our body is now able to gain access directly to our bloodstream. And this incites a whole line of inflammation and also further damages our microbiome, because our microbiome, our good gut bugs and microorganisms, all live, on the villi on the top of the intestinal cells. So it really becomes quite a vicious cycle. So very important. Oh, I see a heart. Yay. Okay. Very important to start with the gut. Whatever you're dealing with in your health, start with your gut. Okay, secondary is nutrient deficiencies, as well as medications that deplete us of our nutrients. So it is crucial, crucial, crucial to continue to eat those nutrient-rich foods for your meals, and also to continue things like X Factor Plus, because your vitamin D, your vitamin E and C are all very, very, very crucial for the optimal functioning of those innate as well as adaptive immune systems. So huge to keep going with that. And then also protein. Protein is very important to a healthy and optimal functioning immune system. Hi, Nina. I just had to take a moment and say that. But yes, so huge. So get your clean, lean proteins, continue the lean protein shakes. Those are all great forms to get your protein in, okay? And then last thing that can really, negatively impact our immune systems are our levels of inflammation. So, one of the kind of analogies I like to use is the one that we say, when your immune system is lacking the nutrients it needs, it's kind of like your car being out of gas. And, when that happens, you can call AAA and get your gas tank filled up. I know, because I do this sometimes. But when you have inflammation in your body, it is similar to a car that is now out of oil. So you pretty much like ruined it. And it's a much bigger consequence. So some of the mechanisms that come into play here are when we have more inflammation going on in our bodies, we have more cortisol release, and our adrenal glands are using more vitamin C as a result. So it kind of becomes a little bit of a vicious cycle in that you have this, nutrient lacking situation, and then you're burning through more vitamin C. Also, a common maybe misunderstanding is that people think orange juice is a great source of vitamin C. And because of the sugar in orange juice, it is not a great source of vitamin C. And one of the main, there's a lot of reasons, but one reason I want to share is that vitamin C and sugar have similar molecular structures. So on a cell, they compete to latch on. So instead of a vitamin C molecule latching on to your white blood cell, for example, to boost it and help your immune system, you could have sugar latching on to your white blood cell, which is going to only add to more inflammation and more derailment of your healthy functioning immune system. So those are just a couple of things that you can, use as a direct take-home action. We are going to go over some self-care items that can help boost your immunity. But also, before we do that, I'm going to talk about the new supplement, Immune Plus. And unfortunately, I do not have it yet in my hands, but I want it. And yes, we can say all the great things about it, right? It's non-GMO, it's free of all common food allergens. It's designed to prime, support, and maintain a robust, healthy, balanced, functioning immune system. All of those things are great, but the biggest thing for me in this product is how it addresses inflammation through protecting us from free radical damage. And I think this needs to be like shouted from the rooftops. This is huge. So just to, back up a little bit on the whole free radical thing. Basically, free radicals are atoms that are missing an electron. And this happens all the time in our body, like whether or not we're doing a normal thing like processing our food, or if we're actually, dealing with a toxin that's come in, our bodies are always in a state of being exposed to free radicals. And the thing that neutralizes free radicals are antioxidants. And an example of this could be like a slice of an apple. When you leave it exposed to the air, it gets oxidized and turns brown, right? But when you squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on it, lemon, the vitamin C, and the lemon being an antioxidant, that browning reaction is greatly diminished or maybe doesn't even happen at all. So you can see in our bodies, for every free radical, we need an antioxidant. It's like a 1-to-1 equation. And if we do not have enough antioxidants in our system at any given time, that free radical is a very unstable molecule, and it's going to grab what it can. And it's likely going to grab a protein off of our healthy cells. And this just leads to more and more problems down the line. So we really can't overdose on our antioxidants. They are very good for us and very important for a healthy, balanced immune system. So here is the really cool thing. Immune Plus contains a blend of 29 different vegetable, fruit, and herb-based antioxidants. And this proprietary blend is called Spectra. You can look it up. And it has been studied and researched in humans. And results have been reported in the Journal of Food and Science Nutrition. So that is like really cool, right? Yes. So I'm going to read to you some of the things they found in the people after they ingested this blend. And one of the things, there was a decrease essentially in free radicals by about 20%, 2 hours after ingestion. There was also an increase in oxygen consumption by cells and our mitochondria after ingestion, which is huge because our mitochondria is where all of our energy is produced in our cell. So that is a very big deal. There was a decrease in free radical production within the mitochondria by about 42% within 2 hours of ingestion. And then there was also an increase in the blood circulating levels of nitric oxide by over 65%. And we know from our active product, nitric oxide is huge. For one, it's a free radical scavenger, so it helps suck up those dangerous free radicals. And it also is a great vasodilator, which improves oxygen delivery to our bodies and improves our circulation. So that is one of my biggest loves about the Immune Plus. It also has ingredients in it like turkey tail, quercetin, turmeric. So these are awesome ingredients, things that I was already taking, and I'm looking forward to being able to get these, condensed into one place in one capsule. But, you can research these ingredients, guys, and the sky is the limit as far as the benefits. And turkey tail, for example, there's been research on it in breast cancer patients, and we are not, claiming to cure or treat or diagnose disease, but you can look up independently turkey tail and see there are studies and research showing decrease in tumor size in those women who were using turkey tail with stages 1 to 3 breast cancer. So this is a huge deal for our overall health, for our immunity as well. Very, very important and helpful ingredients. So we're thrilled to have Immune Plus, and I'm now going to move on to our self-care items and 4 different things that you can do to boost your immune system on your own. And so the first one, probably not a big, surprise here, is going to be exercise, and specifically exercise in nature. There are studies that have shown that people who spent time, they call it forest bathing, where basically they were camping and just spending time walking in nature for, like a condensed period of time, like a couple of days. And they measured the natural killer cells in these participants and noticed that they had improved levels of these cells for up to a month after their time in nature. So exercise and do it in nature as often as you can. That's hugely important. Okay? All right. Number 2, hydrotherapy. So this is something you'll often hear as contrast showers, where you take a shower in a comfortable temperature, and then towards the end of your shower, you will increase the temperature of the water to as hot as you can stand it for about 30 seconds. And then you're going to cool down the temperature. It doesn't have to be freezing. There are lots of things out there on the internet with freezing, diving in the snow. You don't have to do that. But cool down the temperature as much as you can for 30 seconds. And you're going to alternate that little cycle 3 times. And these kinds of modalities have been shown to be immune boosting as well. So yes. And next thing is meditation, which I have touched on a lot during these, different weekly series. And what I want to make sure we understand this week, I just saw a little, what about ovarian cancer? We're not going to go into specific different kinds of cancers, but basically when you're supporting your microbiome like turkey tail does, and you're reducing inflammation in your body, it's pretty helpful. There's this book called The Metabolic Approach to Cancer, which is more geared towards ovarian cancer, and you can check out more information in there. Okay? All right. Yes, and you could walk in the snow, and you're kind of getting the hydrotherapy and the nature therapy together. I like that. Okay, but back to meditation. So what science is now showing us is really cool, is that the energy created by the brain wave frequencies in our minds is measurable by a device called an EEG. And we have found that different amplitudes correlate with different responses in the body. So for example, a brain wavelength of delta, which is a low amplitude, and that's something that usually happens when you're sleeping, they've noticed correlation with increased levels of growth hormone and better telomerase repair. So versus another brain wave, which is beta, or we refer to it as high beta. Hi, Debbie. We have a treat at the end. But high beta is something that our brains are giving off and more in a state of when we're kind of in our worker bee mode, that multitasking, that sometimes stressful mode, And what they found is that your bodies are producing more cortisol during that time. So the amazing thing is that research is now showing us that through meditation, we are able to balance these different wavelengths created by our brain. So we're altering kind of the energy created by our brain. And these wavelengths have a direct ability to influence the function of our cells. Are we creating more repair for ourselves, or are we creating more, flight or fight hormones? So in the research, what they found was people who were meditating regularly had an increase in stem cell production. They had decreased plaque formation, specifically the plaques related to Alzheimer's disease. They had lower levels of inflammation in their body, and they had improved immunity as well. So I think this is a really great example of how science is meeting spirit, and we're seeing, we're able to measure these direct effects, these benefits of meditation on our body and on our immune system. So if you are wanting more info on that, there's a YouTube video called Eco Meditation. It's ECO meditation. And Dr. Dawson Church will take you through a little 20-minute meditation, which is the same thing he used in his studies that showed all of these benefits. Okay? All right, great. And so now we are going to number 4 on our, let me see if I can, on our list. And I'm going to have Debbie come in too, because, all right, because the 4th self-care thing you can do to boost your immunity, help yourself lose weight, help yourself detoxify, bring more joy in your life is, Debbie,
our favorite thing.
dancing. It's tricky.